For today we have task number 7 in Linux Fundamentals Part 3, maintaining your system, package management, introducing packages and software repos. When developers wish to submit software to the community, they will submit it to an apt repository. If approved, their programs and tools will be released into the wild. Two of the most redeeming features of Linux shine to light here: user accessibility and the merit of open source tools. When using the ls command on a Ubuntu 20.04 Linux machine, these files serve as the gateway or registry. Here we can see the list inside the etc and apt directory. Here in the nano we can see, if we read this line, this software is not part of Ubuntu but is offered by Canonical and the respective vendors as a service to Ubuntu users. Alright, so in other words, here we in apt directory, for this source list, we can use it to add, for instance, different repos. While these operating systems vendors will maintain their own repositories, you can also add community repositories to your list. This allows you to extend the capabilities of your OS. Additional repositories can be added by using the add apt repository command or by listing another provider. For example, some vendors will have a repository that is closer to their geographical location. Managing your repositories, adding and removing. Normally we use the apt command to install software onto our Ubuntu system. The apt command is a part of the package management software, also named apt. Apt contains a whole suite of tools that allows us to manage the packages and sources of our software and to install or remove software at the same time. One method of adding repository is to use the add apt repositories command we illustrated above, but we're going to walk through adding and removing a repository manually. Whilst you can install software through the use of package installers, such as dp package, basically is dp package, dpkg. The benefits of apt means that whenever we update our system, the repository that contains the piece of software that we add also gets checked for updates. In this example, we're going to add the text editor Sublime Text to our Ubuntu machine as a repository, as it is not a part of the default Ubuntu repositories. When adding software, the integrity of what we download is guaranteed by the use of what is called the GPG, GNU Privacy Guard keys. These keys are essentially a safety check from the developer saying, here's our software. If the keys do not match up to what your system trusts and what the developers use, then the software will not be downloaded. So to start, we need to add the GPG key for the developers of Sublime Text 3. Note that TryHackMe instance do not have internet access, so we're not expecting you to add this to the machine that you deployed, as it would fail. Let's download the GPG key and use the apt key to trust it. We use wget tool, which we used already, and then we see two flags, -qo, and then the download of the package. And we use the sudo apt key add. Now that we have added this key to our trusted list, we can now add Sublime Text 3 repository to our apt sources list. A good practice is to have a separate file for every different community or third-party repository that we add. Let's create a file named sublime text.list in etc directory apt and source list.d and enter the repository information like so. And here we see exactly that. We create the file sublime text.list inside etc apt and source.list.d, and then we list it to see the file that we just created. And now use nano or a text editor of your choice to add or save the Sublime Text 3 repository into this newly created file. Here we can see exactly that by adding that file that we created with nano. After we have added this entry, we need to update apt to recognize this new entry. This is done using the apt update command. Once successfully updated, we can now proceed to install the software that we have trusted and add it to apt using apt install Sublime Text. Removing packages is easy as reversing. This process is done by using the apt add apt repository remove ppa name /ppa command or by manually deleting the file that we previously added to. Once removed, we can just use the apt remove and then name of the software. That is apt remove sublime text. Pretty cool and pretty easy. Answer the questions below. Simply, since TryHackMe instance do not have an internet connection, this task only requires you to read through the material. Cool.